welcome back. This is Advanced Guitar Day number 2. Let me adjust the focus a little bit for us, and then we can start. So, before we jump in, we gotta make sure that we're in tune, so grab your guitar and grab your smartphone. So, this guy, or girl, or thing, or however you address your smartphone. And pull up that application called Guitar Tuna. Rest it on your thigh. Make sure that each string is in tune. And remember, you're adjusting these metal pieces up here on the headstock to make these notes align with the red line on that app, okay? And you might remember the string names. So the string names are E on the top, then the next one is A, D, G, B, and E. Now, to begin, we're going to use our thumb once more, so for the next segment. So get familiar with playing each string with your thumb only, okay? Now, before we go to the next segment, I want you to use your browser, either on your phone, tablet, laptop, or computer screen. Bring up some image of a virtual piano keyboard. That's right. For guitar class, we're going to be using the piano. And the reason is, when you look at this guitar, you have no way of knowing where all the sharps and flats are. You have no way of knowing where the notes are even, at least until you get familiar. And this galaxy of unknown notes and mysterious beauty and sound, you're not going to have a grasp of it until you practice a lot, until you play a lot, and that's okay. But for now, we're actually going to use the keyboard as our reference. So we are going to use it as a tool to better understand how these notes are organized in space and on this guitar, okay? So type in or punch in virtual piano keyboard or piano keyboard image or something like that, and you should pull up some kind of layout of that piano keyboard. So you should see C, D, E, F, G, and then A, right? So there is no H in the music alphabet. It's just A through G, and then it repeats. Okay, so pull that up, make sure you've got that going, it's in front of you and ready, all right? Because we're gonna use it when we climb up the chromatic scale again. Last time we went up each string for the chromatic scale. We learned every single note, all the way up and back. Now I want you to have that piano keyboard and that reference in front of you so that you have information in case you get lost. You can go, oh crap, I'm on G, and I don't remember if there was a black key above G. There is, it's G sharp, right? But then above G sharp, well, what's the next note? What's the next possible key? Well, it's A, and so on and so forth. And the last thing I really need you to focus on while you're getting prepared is that the keys B and E don't have a sharp above them. Remember that. B and E, they don't have a sharp. There's no key above them to the upper right. There's nothing dividing the E from the F. It's just to F, right? You just go straight from E to F. There's nothing in the middle. And with B, there's nothing between B and C, so you just go straight, B to C, okay? So remember that. Get familiar with the strings again. Make sure you know that it's E, A, D, G, B, E, and have that piano keyboard laid out and ready to go. Make sure you're in tune, and then we'll jump in, and for the rest of this period, we are going to hit this hard and fast. So I hope you're ready, hope you're prepared, okay? And remember, the way the class is gonna go, you have 5 minutes of content, and then 5 minutes of a break, but it's really a chance for you to it's time for you to catch your breath, time for you to practice a material piece. If you have a question, it's a good time to write it down so you don't forget, that kind of thing, okay? So take 5 minutes, and I'll meet you right back here, because none of us are going anywhere, and we'll get started with the lesson proper, okay? Don't forget, if you have questions, leave them during these intermediary periods. All right, see you in 5 minutes. Okay, welcome back. So this is it. you are advanced guitar. So that means that you are ready to go. You want to learn more, you've got the basics already, maybe you've taken my class before, and you want to accelerate a little bit, you want to learn a little more stuff, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to use that image that we just pulled up. So we're going to take that PDF or whatever that image is that you have of the virtual keyboard, okay, whether that's on your computer, tablet, laptop, I don't care, smartphone, just have it there ready to go. And we're going to work our way through these strings, but we're not going to go all the way to the 12th fret, okay? We're not going to go E to shining E this way because we're advanced. So we're going to go vertically and horizontally. So we're going to go E to shining E going down as well as to the right, okay? What I mean by that is this. Start by plucking with your thumb, with the right hand, that top E string. All right. So now find that note on the picture you have of that keyboard, okay? It should be right after D, well, technically right after D sharp, and right before F, all right? So find that note E, and now get your left hand ready. So your thumb, remember, is going against the middle of the back of the neck, okay? Your index finger, your whole hand pretty much, is going to be underneath the neck. Not behind, but underneath, okay? Reaching around in front. Now we're going to start climbing our way up. So the first note is E. Now we're going to use our index on the first fret, and that's F. Okay? The next note is with our middle finger, and that's F sharp. Make sure you're following along on the keyboard. Okay, so your eyes are on the keyboard, maybe checking your fingers, but eyes are on that keyboard, just looking at how we're climbing up the keyboard together. All right, ring finger on G. And the next note on the keyboard is G sharp. Okay, so again, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. And now you're holding G sharp with the pinky, and with your eyes you can see that the next note on the keyboard, past that black key G sharp, must be A. So instead of sliding up, we're just going to go to the next string down, which is A. So again, we go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and then the next note we need is A. So we go down to the next string. And now we're going to continue. So from A, we go up to A sharp, then to B, and remember there's no sharp after B, so we go straight to C here. All right, so that's C, and now we're going to put our pinky down for C sharp. And again, we want the next note on the keyboard, which is D, so we're going to let go and play the next open string. That's D. Okay, so we're going to continue rearing forward. We have D, now we're putting our index down, that gives us D sharp. Then our middle finger gives us E. And remember, E has no sharp, so we put the ring finger down, and that gives us F. Then the pinky gives us F sharp. And the next note we need on that keyboard is a G. So we're going to take our fingers off and play the open G. Then we're going to put the index down here on first fret, gives us G sharp. Middle finger gives us A. Ring finger gives us A sharp. Pinky gives us B. Now that's interesting, because the next string is also B. So if you want, you can optionally only play 3 notes on the G string. So it would be like G, sharp, A, sharp, and then instead of playing B with your pinky, you can play the open B string with your right hand. Continuing on from B on that keyboard, the next note is C because there's no B sharp. So that's C. Then the middle finger plays C sharp, ring finger plays D, pinky plays D sharp, and the next note we need on the keyboard is E, so we play the open string. All right, finishing it off, we have E, just like the first one, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and that's all she wrote. So again, you can play E to shining E 2 times, going not only left and right, but vertically. And that's the skill we need on guitar. We need the confidence to play anywhere, anytime. But you can't do that if you don't first know what those notes are and how close they are together. So remember, B has no sharp and E has no sharp. So practice doing that exact same thing yourself for 5 minutes and say those notes out, or at least know where they are as you play them. and I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, now that your fingertips have gotten their workout and your yoga is done with, we're going to switch gears entirely because we're advanced guitar and we're cool kids and adults. So, we're going to now grab all 6 strings with our fingers like this, but we're grabbing them gently so that when we strum with the right hand, we don't hear a tone. If we hear this, that's not right. So we're going to mask that sound, we're going to mute that sound using the flesh of our left hand, fingers. And the right hand is going to strum. Now you can use the bird's beak style where you put your thumb and your index fingers together and just strum with the top of the index fingernail. Or, for you hard rockers, you can grab your pick and we can do it that way. And I'm going to teach you some different strumming patterns, some different strumming methods. Because inevitably, when you start playing chords, okay, we're going to need to know how to strum. So, let's get to it. We're going to mute all 6 strings, and we're just going to go down. So, down strums. And for this, you need your right hand to be relaxed. And your wrist is going to do the rotation, okay? Until you're feathering across all 6 strings in one motion. Smooth, relaxed. Okay, now that you've gotten that, it's time to pull up that smartphone or that tablet once more. And I promise you, this is the last time. And we're going to either pull up that metronome that we downloaded last time, or we're going to download it properly this time. So pull up, either on the browser or through the app, some kind of metronome. And set that metronome to 50 beats per minute. 50, okay? So 50 beats per minute, and we're going to strum it out, going only with downstrokes, okay? Make sure the metronome is set to 4 beats per measure. Or you can just follow along with the volume here, okay? So left hand is draped across all 6. Right hand is going to strum on the beat. Only down strums. Stay relaxed. Okay, but because you're advanced guitar, maybe you've done this before. So let's kick it up a notch. Now we're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, let's go. Up, down, up. Alright, but maybe you're advanced guitar and you're bored of that too, so let's kick it up to another notch. Let's take this metronome and let's spike it, so let's make it a lot faster. Let's set it to 80. So we're taking our metronome, we're setting it to 80. Here we go. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But maybe that is not good enough. All right, so then now, let's make it a little more interesting. Let's change the number of beats to 3, okay? So only 3 of those beats in the settings that's on the leftmost side of metronome beats, okay? And so you set it to 3 beats per bar, or 3 beats per measure, all right? And now we're gonna go down, up, up, down. See if you can crank that speed until it's almost impossible for you to do with any of those strumming patterns I just showed you. Come back to me in 5 after you've worn out your right hand wrist. See you in 5. Alright, advanced class, we're going into chords now. So we're shifting back away from the metronome, back away from rhythm and strumming, and we are going into chords. So a chord is something you trip on, but also it's something that has 2 or more notes. So normally that's 3, okay? Drei Gläser. Now, don't get shot by the Germans, and instead focus on adding 1 note at a time to your chords. So I'm going to describe where you put your strings and where you put your fingers in terms of frets. So when I give you numbers, I'm speaking from the top down in terms of those strings. So for example, your first chord that I'll show you, if I didn't say it before, is E major, okay? So the E major chord is 0, in other words, open top string, 2 with your middle finger, 2 with your ring finger, 1 with your index finger, and 0, 0. So nothing for the last 2, okay? And that's the E major chord. Again, the numbers correspond to which fret the string is being pressed down on. Again, the numbers are which fret the string is being pressed down on, okay? So that means that 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0 is, it doesn't matter which finger arrangement you use as long as it makes sense. But no matter what, that position needs to be respected, okay? So that means that those strings still need to be pressed down in the correct fret. If they're not, something will sound wrong. There we go. So this is E. If you have to write this down on a paper, that's fine. If you do, write it ascending, okay? So that means write it with the E string on the bottom and the A string coming next, then the D, then the G. If you don't understand what I mean, I can show you more later. But the key is just remember that when I address these strings, I'm starting from the top here, this top string, and working my way to the bottom, all right? So here we go. This is 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. And remember to focus, the thumb is on the middle of the neck on the back side, okay? And the fingers are pressing with the tips, not with the flat part of your fingers, but the tips, okay? That's really critical. All right, so get a nice clean strum. And let's move right along to the next chord. So the next one is C. Let's just do C. So here was E major. 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. C is this one. And if I describe it to you, it would go 0, 3. So now my ring finger is playing 3 here. Then my middle finger will play 2 on the D string. Then nothing on the G string. And my index has shifted to play the B string on the first fret. And then 0 at the end. So an open string. So again, the C major chord is 0, 3, 2, 0, 1, and 0. Strum it out. Now you got C major. And your hand might start to get a little bit tired here, and that's normal. So E major was 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. Then C major was 0, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. And if you're ready, let's go right ahead to the next one, and let's do G. So G is 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3. It's pretty simple, okay? So again, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3, okay? And that's the position from dead on, okay? So now you've got E major, 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. You've gotten C major, which is 0, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. You've got G, which is 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3. And we've only got 2 more. So the next one is D, which is 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 2. Very simple chord. And for this, we try not to play that top string. And that's D major, okay? So again, I should say X, meaning don't play the top string. Then 0, 0, 2, 3, 2. Okay? And the very last one is A major. So for that, we're going to tuck in 3 fingers here onto that 2nd fret. It looks like 0, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0. And that's A major. And it's really important that you get your thumb involved with this one. So really focus on the middle of the neck and get your hand down low so you can get all 3 fingers tucked into that 2nd fret, okay? So again, 0, 0, 2, 2, 2. That's A major. Okay? So that's it. Those are 5 major chords that you need to know because their shapes will become extremely important in the future lessons. So take 5 minutes to practice all 5 of those chords. E, C, G, D, and A. And I'll see you in 5. Welcome back, Advanced Guitar. You are my favorite class, and that's why I don't go easy on you. So the next part is going to be playing those 5 chords that you just learned or are practicing, and we're going to play them with the metronome because you need to start developing a pulse and a comfort level with the transitions as early as you can so that when you transition between the chords, it's almost seamless. We need that comfort. And that comes with a lot of practice, a lot of comfort developed with those fingers moving independently of one another. And in the beginning, it's easy for your fingers to kind of go their own way, not like Fleetwood Mac. And we need to change that. We need them to be under control. So, set the metronome to 60 beats per minute with 4 beats per measure, or 4 beats per bar, okay? So 60 with 4 beats. All right, and let's go ahead and give it a roll. Now, all I want to do is play 1 chord and then let it ring. So in other words, I'm going to play E major, so join me. Remember, that's 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. 2. Sorry, let's go on the first one. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to play again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our system. We're going to strum and then let it ring for those 3 more beats. So again, we go 1, then it goes 2, 3, and then we're going to transition to G. 2, 3, then we're going to transition to D. 2, or C. 3, 4. C. 2, 3 to A. Sorry. 4, and then we play E. So let's be consistent. I'll do it in the order we learned it. So we'll do E, then we'll do C, then we'll do G, then we'll do D, then we'll do A, and then we'll do E again. Okay, some of these songs are part of Hey Joe. In fact, I think all of them are used in Hey Joe, and I think this might even be the exact progression for Hey Joe. I think it is. Anyway, so we're going to do it with the metronome. And so we're going to play 1, 2, 3, get ready to change to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. D. 2, 3. A major. 2, 3, 4. And then E. Now, if you're having a hard time remembering the order or which chord, or if it's a little bit too fast, which I hope it isn't, but if it is, write down those chords, okay? If you get a chart or if you look it up online, it's going to give you a lot of different results. And I think it's better to just work slow and easy in the beginning. Keep it simple. So let me give you those chords one more time real quick before we do this. First one, E major, 0, 2, 2, 1, 0, 0. Next one is C, 0, 3, 2, 0, 1, 0. Next one's G. 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3. Next one's D. 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 2. Next one's A major. 0, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0. And then you're back to E major. Okay? So again, we're going to set the metronome and we're going to get to it. Here we go. 3, E major. Next one's going to be C, 4, 2. Next one's G, 2, 3. Next one's D, 2, 3. Next one's A, 2, 3. Next one's E, 2, 3. To C, 3, 4 to G, 2, 3, 4 to D, 2, 3, 4 to A, 2, 3, 4 to E, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I want you to practice that at 60 beats per minute, working through each and every chord, okay? So you just strum, and if it's a little bit too hard for you to transition into the next chord on time, you can wait a little bit longer. So you can strum, and think about what you're going to do with your hand, think about how you're going to hold it, and wait a little bit longer, and then come into the chord. All right, so take 5 minutes to work on those chords. Alrighty, so those were transitions with the metronome, and we got one more session after this. Let's go. 5-minute work on it. Okay, super exciting. We're on to the very last part of today's class. This is the home stretch, and boy is it going to stretch. All right, we just learned those 5 chords. We learned E major, C major, G major, D major, and A, right? So now I want your right hand to get more involved, because we were just strumming mindlessly. We were just doing a down strum with the metronome. But now I'd like you to actually take your fingers and put them on the strings that your left hand fingers are holding. Let me say that again. Your right hand fingers are going to go onto the strings of the same ones your left hand fingers are holding. So again, I said it would be 0, 2, so the first one should maybe be the thumb on the A string. So 0, 2, then 2, then 1, then 0, and then 0, right? So it's up to you where you want your thumb to go. For this particular chord, it makes sense to have your thumb on the E string because it's an E chord, right? So you can have your thumb on the top string here, your index would go on the next string down, middle finger would go on the next string below that, ring finger would go on the next string below that, and the pinky is optional. I rarely use my right pinky when I play with my right hand. I typically reserve my playing to these 3 fingers. Draglaser. Okay. And all you're going to do is pluck. So that means you need to have your thumb off to the side like this so that your fingers can be straight up and down. And if you go one by one, your hand almost forms into a fist at the end, okay? So again, position your fingers in a cascade going downwards, and the position should look like this, okay? So the thumb is clearly off to the side. If your thumb is inside your hand, I recommend changing that. I recommend pushing the thumb so it's almost fully extended here, and your fingers will have more space to tuck in, okay? If it's like this, it's hard for your fingers to pull straight up. But like this, your fingers are much more inclined. All right. And this is what we call an arpeggio. An arpeggio is when you play each note independently. So it's a chord, nothing's changing about the chord, but your fingers are playing each note independently at their own time, okay? You can pluck them at the same time too. All right, so what I want you to do is practice playing each string independently, one after the other. So E, then the next string, then the next string, then the next string. And it's very difficult in the beginning to articulate each finger. So stick with it, try to go forward and backward. It helps a lot. So you go, then you put all fingers down and you go backwards. And you're forming brand new neural pathways from your brain to your fingertips. So give yourself a pat on the back for this because it's not easy stuff and it's pretty cool actually. So we got the E chord. Now we need to transition to all the other chords. So we have 4 other chords we need to do. And I'm not going to explain every one, but you're going to use the same logic to do this. So your thumb will now hold whatever that first note is. Your index finger will take the next note. And remember, we're only interested in the chords that are, in the notes that are in the chord. In this case, we can pluck all of the 4 middle strings if we choose to play C. Okay? And you can pluck them independently as well. And you can do this for every single chord. All right, so for the next one it would be G. So the top 2 and then the last string, right? So 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3. And D. And A. And you can have fun, you can do whatever you like to do, and just experiment, get used to it, get your right hand fingers going, try to feel what seems like it sounds the best to you, okay? And that concludes today's class. So hopefully your left hand fingertips have a nice workout, nice stretch, and you've learned a thing or two about the guitar, okay? And if this is too slow, then I apologize, but hey, I'm warning you, it only gets faster and better from here. So with that, I leave you, and I look forward to day number 3. Cheers. Have fun playing.